I'm honored to be able to toast these two wonderful kids of ours as they begin their lives together. But before we start, I'd like to talk about when I first met Amanda. As most of you know, Brad and Amanda worked together at Grove City Parks and Recreation Program. Their site for a couple of years was Windsor Park, just at the end of our street. I first met Amanda several years ago. Occasionally, I would have a weekday off from work. I remember one of these days off, I was eating breakfast in the family room when Brad bounded down the stairs. He seemed surprised to see me and asked, "Oh, are you off today?" After a short pause, he added that a friend of his from work was going to stop over for some coffee before work. I replied, "Oh, okay." But I thought to myself, I didn't know Brad even liked coffee. That's the first time I ever heard him talking about drinking coffee. A few minutes later, I met our future daughter-in-law, lovely Amanda. I enjoyed chatting with the two. Amanda was very polite and cordial. Then they left for work after the coffee kickoff, but returned in 30 seconds stating that Amanda's car had a flat tire. They asked if they could leave it in the drive and fix it after work, which was fine. When they returned, I remember they had some trouble getting the tire off or getting it to hold air or something. They called Amanda's dad, called some shops. Anyhow, they eventually got the tire fixed. Anyhow, Brad developed a real taste for coffee that summer as these morning coffee meetings became regular. They even expanded to include foreign coffees, flavored coffees, even iced coffees. Preparation sometimes started the night before. I liked the coffee breaks too, as they often included treats for me baked by Amanda, Lauren, or Anna. But it wasn't until several months later that I knew things were getting more serious. I happened to be home for another coffee break. When they left, they returned 30 seconds or so later. I think you're ahead of me on this. Yes, this time the coffee break caused Brad's tire to have a blowout. They left the car in the driveway and returned after work to begin the repair. They seemed to be having all sorts of trouble getting the tire off. After messing with it for a while, I left Brad and Amanda and came in the house for a break. After a while, Nancy looked out the window to check their progress. She then signaled me over to the window with a smile. We saw about 5 neighborhood teenage boys working on the car, and Brad and Amanda were in the background, draped all over each other, hugging and kissing, as if their tire was in perfect condition. The last thing on their minds was the tire. Nancy said, "I think those two are going to be all right." As time went by, we got to know Amanda better and better. We loved her great sense of humor, her clever wit, her beautiful smile, the funny stories she told about her family, and how much she seemed to care about Brad. One by one, we met her family. First her brothers, Connor and Mason. They were very polite and kind of quiet, and about 6 inches shorter than they are now. Then her parents, Greg and Anna, when they were helping Brad buy his house. They were very helpful and a lot of fun. After many months went by, we finally discovered that what we were starting to think was an imaginary sister was actually a real human being named Lauren. She was bubbly and lots of fun. Then we met her uncles Herb and Bob, then Margaret, Jack, and Aggie, and the extended family members at Amanda and Anna's graduation, and has been a true pleasure. When Nancy and I got married several years ago, and I do mean several with a capital S, we were surprised to learn that we married not only each other, but we married each other's families as well. We have had years of fantastic vacations, highlights, and special events shared with both of our families. And what a blast it's been. For a 10-year period when the kids were young, our families actually shared the same summer vacations at the Atwood Lake cabins. I can see the same thing happening to Brad and Amanda. Brad has truly enjoyed your family, spending time with the boys, enjoying the DeGraw vacations, and appreciating the help Greg and Anna have given them with their houses and everything else. We have loved Amanda joining our vacations and family events as well. I like Amanda's response when we invited her on one of our ski trips. She said, "Sure, but I've never been on a cold vacation before. My family goes to hot places." Courtney, Rob, Brad, and Amanda seem to have the most fun ever when they're together. At this time, let's raise our glasses and toast to Brad and Amanda for a lifetime of love, good times, and endless coffee breaks. And to both of our families, cheers.